Hi everyone, it's Kev's Magpie's YouTube channel. Welcome back to another video on my channel. And in today's video, I'll be going over my round 11 tips and do my round 12 tips and previews. If you are watching Kev's Magpies, welcome. Like, comment, share. If you're new to the channel, watching this for the first time, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Now, while I was successful over the weekend, I got 8 out of 9 tips. The only tip wrong was the Gold Coast Suns, when I picked them and I picked the Giants and the Hawks. So I've done pretty good for myself in getting all the tips right. The draw does count as a tip correct. So let's jump straight into my round 12 tips and previews now. Port Adelaide versus Carlton. Last time these two sides met was a 50-point win back in round 18, 2023, but having said that too, Carlton have only won 2 of the last 5 games. So I think from memory, where it's been played at the MCG and at Marvel Stadium, at the Adelaide Oval, Port Adelaide have been in ripping form. So where they won by 95 points. I do think it'll be the battle of Port's midfield, and I think their forward line will step up and play ripping football as well. So I do think that Port's midfield will be too good. I think Port's defence will be a lot better for Carlton's forward line than what people will suggest. But having said it too, Port Adelaide are third on the ladder, and they're not third on the ladder for no reason at all. And they've won 4 of the last 5 games, and as we know, they lost to the Crows within that 5-game period. Well, for the Blues, they've won against the Suns and the D's by a point, and then obviously lost to Geelong, Collingwood, and also the Sydney Swans. So, while it's at the Adelaide Oval, and yes, they've had the win, but technically it wasn't against the Adelaide Crows and Port Adelaide. It was against Fremantle, where it suited, where it was neutral territory. So I'm going to say on Thursday night, the Power will get the job done, and I'm going to say they'll win by 20 points. I think they'll be a bit too strong. I think Port Adelaide will come out really well, and I think Carlton will try and launch the way back as well. But I'm expecting to see what type of game that would be as well. Now, on Friday Night Football, we have the Pies versus the Bulldogs. Now, last time these two sides met was at Marvel Stadium, and it was a Bulldogs home game when we won by 12 points. Now, we haven't had probably the worst luck. We've won 3 of the last 5 games. Now, don't forget, in round 21, round 1, we lost at the G by 16 points, and we lost by 48 points at Marvel Stadium in round 9. So that was the official home game for us, where I think this would be on which forward line steps up as well. Now, I do think our forward line is different as well. It's the Western Bulldogs as well. So while we've won in round 1, 2020, and round 14, round 19, in 2019, I should say, and even round 4, so going back further than that, I do think that will get the job done. The last time we won at Marvel Stadium at our home game against the Western Bulldogs was 2018 as well. So it is hugely important for us to really win a game of football. Now, we have definitely played some of the best football matches that I definitely have seen in a long time now, because I'm expecting us to win, and win pretty convincingly as well. I'm expecting us to really produce as well. So, I think that we do have a bit of form. Like I said, the last time that we won at Marvel Stadium at our home game was round 10 in 2018, and even if you go back further than round 4 when we won at G by 14 points. So we've won 6 of the last 8 games, pretty much. So, look, I think this one will be a close game. This is a huge game for both teams. Bulldogs are really in a position where it's 7th versus 11th. A win and we potentially go up towards top 4. Lose and we could be out of the 8 depending on other results as well. While I don't trust the Bulldogs enough, they're not a consistent team. To be honest, I think we are favourites, and rightly so. So I'm going to say Collingwood get the job done by 15 points. So I think it will be a very close game indeed. Hawthorn versus the Crows at the MCG. Now, these two sides have been in ripping nick indeed. The Hawks have won 3 of the last 5 on losing to the Power by point after being 41 points in front, and then also losing to the Swans. Well, the Crows have won against North Melbourne, Port Adelaide and the Eagles, but lost to Collingwood and also drew to Brisbane as well. Now, while Adelaide won by 3 points in Tasmania, the last time that the Adelaide Crows played at the MCG would have been in a while, so we haven't obviously seen the difference in that. The Adelaide Crows have won 3 of the last 5. So I do think there are a bit of form that goes into these two teams as well. But I do think that you probably might expect, 2020 was a different game again. I'm going to say the Crows just. I think they'll win by 3 points. I think this will be a type of game where they can win and pretty much just win a very tight game as well. The Eagles versus the Saints now. Again, St Kilda have won 1 of the last 4, and same with the D's. But having said that as well, look, this is a different team. St Kilda won at Optus Stadium last year by 8 points. But having said that too, St Kilda realistically have won probably 3 of the last 5. 4 of the last 5 to be exact. The last probably time that the Eagles have beaten them was round 19, 2022. Now, I think purely based on how they played as well, looking back on it, I think for me, and I tend to look at the breaks a lot differently as well, but West Coast are at home, and I don't think a 99-point margin against the Crows will be anything less than that. But something tells me that I just don't trust them in the way that they played. To be fair, I think this is a real interesting game. I'm going to pick the Eagles. I think it'll be the battle of the midfield. The Harley Reid show will ignite the Eagles. And what I was saying against the D's as well when they've won is impressive. Now, we know they've lost a few games, but to be honest as well, they were competitive against the Bombers. They were competitive against the Suns. So I think that's the difference. So I say the Eagles by 14 points. Geelong versus Richmond up at GMHBA Stadium. Now, 2017 was the last time we've seen these two teams play at GMHBA Stadium. Normally these games are being played up at the MCG. But having said that too, Geelong have won 3 of the last 5 games. Now, well, I think last time these two sides met, and not many people want to really go into it as much as I'm going to go into it. But this game means a lot more than what people think as well. So while I do think that we will see results go that way, I'm going to say that while Richmond have been so good for a long period of time and they've won these games as well, I do think that at GMHBA Stadium it's a different look. Richmond haven't played there for a while. I'm going to say the Cats by 7 points. And I think there will be a battle of Geelong's midfield as well. So, my next tipping game coming up is Melbourne versus Fremantle at TIL Traeger Park in Alice Springs. Now, well, people say Melbourne are favourites. Look, I don't think they're in that much better form, to be honest. They did beat the Saints, but to be honest, anyone can beat the Saints at this rate, except for Collingwood, who played them in round 2. But I am thinking that we're going to see a lot out of this game between these two teams. While I think that Fremantle have shown a fair bit, but having said that too, they have been a lot more competitive in games as well. I don't think I can trust Melbourne in this aspect. I know Fremantle played on a Friday night. Well, it is a hot ground and Melbourne tend to play there. I think last year they've lost a few games as well. So, well, I think their form, at least with Fremantle, it's a lot more impressive. They beat up the Tigers. They beat the Saints. They also beat the Bulldogs as well, drew to us. Well, Melbourne lost to West Coast and Carlton as well. And I think that, to me, is a little bit different. I think Fremantle's midfield is a bit too strong. And I do think that it'll be a battle of which defence and which team wants to play defensive-minded game. But I'm going to say the Dockers in a low-scoring game by 10 points. And I think that will be the difference in the end. Gold Coast versus the Bombers. Now, while this is a different Essendon team, Gold Coast can play well at home, especially in Darwin. But having said that, I think when you look at these two teams, you look at the way that they are going to play, I'm thinking that it's going to be a very interesting game. Now, while it's at People's First Stadium, I'm going to say it'll be a battle of which midfields to stand up as well. Essendon have won 3 of the last 5. Or 4 of the last 5, I should say. And the only time that they drew was in round 11, 2020. So, I'm going to say Essendon should get the job done. I think their midfield will be a bit too strong. I'm going to say they'll win by 18 points. Hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to drop a like and also drop a sub. Bye for now.